Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and everything in between. Welcome back to Geeks Watch. Today we're going to continue talking about Arcane Season 2, Episode 5, Blisters and Bedrock. This episode deals a lot with the what I saw as the trailer for Season 2, so minor spoilers, but for that impact anyway. So what was in the Season 2 trailer? We see Vi was she's basically become a pit fighter after, Caitlyn rejecting her. And she's like dyed her hair black. She's used black makeup to cover her tattoo so people don't know who she is. And we kind of watch her downward spiral. She initially is a very, very successful pit fighter, but she spirals downward. She becomes more violent, aggressive outside the ring. She drinks heavily. She pushes everyone away from her until she's basically just all alone, drunken and miserable at the bottom of a bottle, alone in some crash pad somewhere. GEEXX finds her and tries to recruit her to help Vander, who is the monster from the previous episode. Vi doesn't initially believe her, but GEEXX manages to convince Vi to come along. And they basically wander through the Undercity looking for the monster that Vander has become. Caitlyn and Ambessa are trying to get Singed to work for them. Singed is the alchemist who made Vander and who created other things, which we learn is to save his daughter's life. We also see Mal, what happened to her. She's been imprisoned in what I'm going to call an oubliette with a fellow prisoner she finally sees who has been stuck there a while and who seemingly is someone that she might know. And Jace reappears from the Hex Core where he's been disappeared for who knows how long. We do not see anything of Echo or Heimerdinger, who disappeared with him. Jace is aged. He's changed a bit. His big old hammer has some Hex Core corruption to it. He's got a beard. He seems to have a jewel embedded in his forearm. And there is, what's his name? Sallow? Whoever the councilman who was crippled in the explosion that GEEXX caused at the climax of season 1. His legs have apparently been healed by Victor, and Victor can actually speak through Sallow to Jace, and they talk back and forth, and that goes on for a bit. Those are the broad beats of the story. Those are the basic plot elements. We do get a bit of a flashback scene, which there's an image of behind me, of the days before GEEXX and Vi were born. This is a young Vander, a young Silco, and a young woman whose name I can't remember. But it's back when Silco and Vander were friends. They were on the same side. Their personalities are very similar to what we saw later in the series, just a bit more optimistic and a bit less jaded. I did kind of enjoy this little end credit scene that capped off the episode. I do think there was some weakness in the writing in this episode. Nothing major. I thought that just some of the resolutions didn't land well with me, I think. The story with Vander and GEEXX and Vi, just there were some elements of it that seemed a bit too convenient to me. You know, GEEXX is being the sane one for a change. She is not going off like a lunatic like she has been in all the other episodes. And I'm not sure if this is an intended character arc or, like I said, just writing for convenience. Someone's got to be a sane person in the room, and in this instance, it's GEEXX. And it really doesn't match how she's behaved up till this point. So for me, that's kind of a weak point in the writing. But it also depends on how the season progresses, how GEEXX's story progresses. If she can move beyond what she has shown herself to be previously, if she can mature a little bit, then I suppose that could be a good thing. But at this point, it just doesn't sit right with me. It's still great writing, but the way the episode is structured, yeah, some of the things just felt a bit too convenient, and certain things were unexplained in a way that left me unsatisfied. And again, this is just me. It's still a great episode. I still really loved it. I'm still loving the show so far. I think this is just the one I've had the most complaints about because it didn't land well with me. And I try and be as objective as possible to know when it's just me as opposed to the writing itself. And I'm not sure. I'm really not. It could be me. It could be just my personal, and all I can really tell you is my personal opinion. But sometimes I can step back enough from it to tell you, if it's my opinion, but it's still great or not, or still garbage and not. There are things that are garbage that I like, and there are things that I don't like which are great. And I think that's my problem with this episode is I really can't tell if my problems with it are my own personal biases or the fault in the writing. So I think that's what bothers me about this episode in particular. I think it might be me because damn, the writing on the show is good. So I'm going to lean in more towards it being a personal bias at this point. I've been burned before by shows that start off great and then kind of falter off a bit. And even the best shows have their off episodes. Even the best series have their off episodes. But at this point, I'm going to lean a bit towards more it's my personal biases that are making me not like the couple of elements that I've mentioned in the show. I mean, it's a 35 minute episode, so having what amounts to about 5 minutes of it not landing well with me is still a pretty damn good episode. That's about all I have to say without spoiling any more of it, and you know how much I hate that. As always, thanks for watching. As always, my stuff is crap. And until next time, good hunting.